There's steps to buying a house, right? Now that you understand what an asset is, just buying a house is not making an asset. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Liability is something that takes out. So if you living in a house, your mom's house, is it an asset or liability?
Liability.
It's a liability. The house in Puerto Rico, asset or liability?
Right now it's an asset.
It's an asset. It's put money in my pocket every single month. So the first step for when we look at a property that we want to buy and make money off of, that's two parts of the company. There's one part where we buy houses, fix them up, which you've seen when you're younger, but you never seen now that you're older and you never deal with the money. So you don't know how we're getting the money for these properties, how we're paying people, how we're selling it, none of that stuff.
Right.
You just see I flip houses. So now at you're 17, it's time to like start learning baby steps, like behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep it basic and just give you some examples as to like how it works, right? So like this is a property down the street, so they're asking $184 for the house. Now, first thing that we do when we try to find houses that we want to look for is we build a criteria sheet, right? So like if I tell you a story and you tell 5 people, do you think they're gonna have the same story?
No.
No, it's going to lose value over time, and it's going to be something completely different by the time you tell them.
Right.
And if you just tell someone verbally, they're going to just lose track of what you told them, and they just send you stuff. Oh, this guy's got cash, he's got money, I'm going to just send him deals, things that they think are deals. These are what I think is deals. And this derives from how much money I got and what I'm trying to make. So I've researched Houston, when I researched all the areas that are booming and upcoming, that have low value properties that can turn around and be high value properties with a good spread in there. That, and I like to buy properties that have multiple exit strategies. You know what that means?
Like, just in case something happens to it.
Exactly. I can go another route.
Right.
So not only can we sell it and make $60,000-$70,000, if the market changes, we can turn around and rent it out, and it will cover the mortgage, probably plus some, and we could probably pull money out. So those are the type of properties. That's why I don't invest in properties that are $500,000, like in your mom's neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy those because there's no way that the rent was going to cover the mortgage on there, right? So, and we want to use other people's money. So other people's money cost us money. Right. You know what I mean? So back to this, we got a criteria. We've talked to real estate agents, we've talked to other investors in the area, we've talked to all these different people to figure out what this comes up with, right? So if you tell 3 people, hey, if you ask 5 people what's the best area in Houston to invest in, 3 of those 5 are going to come up with the same area.
Okay.
That's probably a good area, right?
Right.
Talk to contractors, you talk to everybody, they're going to tell you what's popping. So boom, we've got all our areas, and then we created our target of what type of property we're looking for, so that way they don't send us mobile homes, land, condos with HOAs, apartment buildings that are 20 units, rural property way out in the middle of nowhere. Like I don't got time to look through all that. This is exactly what I'm looking, right? So this is what I send them. This one is for land. So usually it would say 3 bedroom, 2 bath, like a breakdown of what I'm looking for. But the one you're looking at right now is land, right? So then once they come, the assistant will put out every day, we're looking for this. They'll email real estate agents. They'll put the word out that we're looking for property. Then they start sending them to us, right? So here's one. They want $184 for the property. Now, the first thing that we need to do to figure out if it's a deal, what do you think?
If it's an asset.
Well, asset is something that puts something in your pocket, and a liability is what
that takes away.
Right? So we're already in the asset. It's accounts. We're trying to turn it into an asset. It would be a liability if we bought it and it kept costing us money, right?
Right.
But we're trying to make it an asset. So the first thing we need to do to figure out if it's going to be an asset for us is figure out what it would be worth. So remember when you were buying your car and we were like, all right, so how much is it? Well, what's the first thing we figured out?
How much it was worth.
How much it was worth, right? You don't know if you got a good deal or not if you don't know what the value of something is. You could have a bunch of stuff in your pocket, and if you don't know what it is. So the first thing is ARV, after repair value, or when I'm building, after build value. It's going to be worth at the end. So that's where we start. We start at the end and we work our way back from there. So that's going to be another training that I teach you. This is just going to be basic numbers. So for this one, the after repair value is $285. All right. So we know there's a difference.
Right.
Right. So this is the purchase price and this is the value. What's going to be done. Now we got to figure out everything in between, because what's left is ours to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got to start subtracting. The reason why we're subtracting is to figure out what we could pay for it. If some rich dude got a bunch of money and he just needs to hide money somewhere so he don't pay taxes, he could drop 184, pop, he don't even care about it. We can't do that. We borrowing money and that money costs us. You know what I mean? So now we start subtracting. We subtract what we want. If we're selling the house, we subtract what we want to make.
Right.
Let's get our profit out the way right now. I want 60,000. Now we subtract what it costs to fix this up. Okay, so that's something that you would either have your contractor come in and do. I got 15 years of experience. You have your dad come through. Yo, dad, check this one out. After you've looked at so many houses and painted so many houses, if you painted 1,000 square foot house and it cost you $2,000, and you have another house that was $1,500 square feet, it's only going to be plus or minus $500, right? You put a roof on a 2,000 square foot house, and this one is, and that cost you $6,000, and this one is 1,500 square foot house. You know it's not going to be that much, so you can be like, off a little bit, right? Yeah. So you did your oil change. How much it cost to change your oil?
Like 40 plus the filter was like 50, 60.
Right. So if your boy come to you and say, yo, how much is it gonna cost to change my oil? About $60, bro. Yeah. Right. So that's why you getting into real estate over time. You're just gonna get better and better over time because you're gonna been there and done that. We done put this floor in so many times. We done put up so many blinds. We done put in so many windows. Right.
Right.
So I know that a rehab of this right here would be about $40,000. So we got $40,000. Right. So now that we got our what we want to make, our profit, we got our rehab, we got a rehab cost. Our cost of the money would probably, let's just in this situation, let's just say it costs us $20,000 to borrow the money. This is the interest rate that they're going to charge us and the fees that they're going to charge us to borrow the money. All right. We got our loan, we got our costs, we got our profits, and then we got to sell the property, right? We're going to sell it. That's 6%. So 6%, let's just say 300,000, 1% would be 3,000. So you need 6 times. 3, 6, 9, so it's about $18,000. So it's going to be less than 18. So let's just put $15,000 to sell it. That's our sale cost. All right. That's 100,000. 6 plus 4 is 1, right? 100,000, 120, 135. So it costs $135,000 to do this deal and make money. So now pull your calculator. So what's 285 minus 135?
150.
$150,000. What does that number represent for us?
How much it's gonna cost?
How much we can buy it for?
All week.
They're trying to sell it for this, but if we buy it for that, we're $30,000 over. Right. That means we're gonna make $30,000, not 60. We don't do deals at 30,000. That if we get it for 160, we'll make $40,000, right? Now you want to put a contingency in there. A contingency is like, what if things go bad, right? So we might even put another $15,000 in here for contingency, right? So now we're at 135, right? Or 135, yeah, 135. So we gotta buy, if we want this protection of oh crap, right? That's our oh crap. That means we put in an offer at 132. I don't care if they accept the offer or not. This is the math every day. If we put in 5 of these a day, how long do you think it's gonna take before somebody says, yeah, take this?
At least one.
At least one, right? And that's all we need. That's somebody's salary. So if we do this once every 3 months, we put in offers, 5 offers a day, and we get this once every 3 months. What's 60 times 3? That's $180,000 a year. How many people you know make $180,000?
No.
Exactly. That's the math. That's what I wanted to show you. When we get just the beginning brush starts, we talked about since you was a kid, assets and liabilities. But we ain't never get into the numbers because you ain't never really been old enough to understand. You pass asset and liability. Your car, a liability. The house, an asset. But it's not an asset when you buy it. You have to turn it into an asset.
Right.
So now that you understand what an asset is, now you like just buying a house is not making an asset. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Liability is something that takes out. So if you living in a house, your mom's house, is it an asset or liability?
Liability.
It's a liability. You know what I mean? The house in Puerto Rico, asset or liability?
Right now it's an asset.
It's an asset to put money in my pocket every single month. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the difference. But you see the steps that I took with the Puerto Rico property. I didn't just get it and then like, no, I made it. Exactly. Fixed it up and we turned it into a valuable asset. Now we're sitting back and we're making money on it and we can go visit the property. So this is the step. Step 1, you create the criteria. Step 2, they start coming in. Step 3, you analyze the deal. And then we can get into step 4, 5, 6 and showing you how to find contractors. And once we start buying houses here, then you'll be able to see like, okay, now I understand how he's moving. Now when we take this 60, whole job when we fixing the house up is to stay under that 60. Our job is to be cut. We're just trying to like fix it up as much. Like, oh man, these floors is good. We floors in the bathroom. We just saved $5,000 right here. See what I mean?
Okay.
Questions?
Not that I know. Nah.
All right.
I don't really know that.
No, it's cool. You don't have no questions.